welcome to the Morehouse College 2022 Virtual New Student Orientation. Today, we will listen to presentations from the Office of Records and Registration and Financial Services. Today is our first day, and it will be followed tomorrow by additional offices at the college presenting to you about how you become acclimated to these wonderful resources. My name is Ilya Davis. I am the Director of Freshman and Seniors Academic Success and Instructor of Philosophy. Thank you so much for attending, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Kevin Booker, and I'm Vice President for Student Services and Dean of the college, as well as a proud member of the class of 1990.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Brock Mayers, and I serve as the Associate Vice President of Student Services and Dean of Students, and a proud member of the Morehouse College class of 1999.
Welcome to Morehouse College. We are so excited to have you. You are about to embark on a journey that will last for 4 years, but you will remember it for the rest of your life. Remember this as you begin the journey, because you want to begin with the end in mind. So we only want you, if you're a freshman, for 4 years. Our expectation is that you're going to graduate within that 4-year period. If you're a transfer student, depending on where you're coming in at, we expect you to finish within that period of time so that you don't extend the period of time that you're here at Morehouse. During the NSO experience, you'll have both a virtual NSO, which will be recorded and you can reflect upon at any time during your journey, and we encourage that. But you'll also have the in-person experience. We ask that you come through this experience with an open mind, ready to make friends, learn new things, and most importantly, become familiar with the wonderful resources that the college has in store for you. These resources are what you will need for the next 4 years or however long you're here at the college. But make sure you pay close attention, have an open mind, be ready and focused to take advantage of what's ahead in your journey.
And as your Dean of Students, first allow me to congratulate you on your entrance here to Morehouse College and ultimately the decision that you've made to start your preparation to lead a life of leadership and service. Each of you have overcome tremendous obstacles in arriving to this very moment. Your life experiences have led you to this specific time and place with these specific people around you. And this is by no mistake or random occurrence, but rather a spiritual mandate. Your presence is needed here in this moment to prepare you to serve your divine purpose. As a society, we find ourselves continuing to fight the impact of systemic racism and intolerance. And after now 3 years, we find ourselves still struggling through the effects of an international pandemic disproportionately impacting our community. So you see, your presence here in this moment with these people is timely. Because amongst your ranks, I see the scholars who will answer the questions left unanswered by previous generations. I see the men who will restore, build, and develop our community in ways that have gone unimagined. So with this in mind, and you will hear me say this often, why are you here? As you navigate the new student orientation experience, I want you to reflect on this question often in preparation for the academic year, and ultimately your successful completion of your degree. The answer will set your intention and guide you through the challenging times. So welcome, men of Morehouse. I look forward to meeting you all beyond this virtual moment. Now let's get to work.
Hello, my name is Ilya Davis, a 1989 graduate of Morehouse College. Welcome to Virtual NSO. NSO, New Student Orientation, will be your introduction to the fundamental basic structures of Morehouse College, along with sundry activities that I'm sure you'll enjoy. One thing about coming to Morehouse is it will fundamentally be a new experience unlike any other. We take great pride in having you be amongst our numbers. Thank you so much for choosing or selecting Morehouse College. We know you had other choices, but we're very excited to have you amongst us. Morehouse has a long legacy of creating an environment conducive to the cultivation of the best of what humanity can offer. Morehouse has been around since 1867, beginning in Augusta, Georgia, moving to Atlanta and becoming Morehouse College by name in 1913. That's just to represent the fact that part of being a part of our brotherhood is entrenching yourself in the history and the legacy of this institution. You're going to learn so much more during your in-person new student orientation. For virtual NSO, you will have the opportunity to listen to presentations about security, health issues, particularly COVID protocols. You will also hear from financial aid and other issues regarding how you will manipulate the virtual platforms that we will be having, such as Blackboard, Bannerweb, and other resources for you to extract your grades, submit papers, and so forth. Again, we're very excited to have you here. I am the Director of Freshman and Senior Academic Success, and I look forward to working with you throughout the year. Now, you will hear more about the in-person new student orientation from Mr. Ross.
Welcome to class of 2026 and transfer students. My name is Jordan Dean Ross, a class of 2018 alumnus of the college, and I serve as the Director of Student Activities and Orientation. We have a list of many fruitful events that captures the essence and the mystique of Morehouse College during NSO. For example, we have Welcome to the House, we have For Whom the Bell Tolls, we have the Parent Partying Ceremony, and we have Spirit Night. All of these events serve as your introduction to the Brotherhood of Morehouse College. Welcome to the house.
This is the Morehouse College Student Financial Services presentation about financing the Morehouse experience. So just to give you a little bit more information about Student Financial Services, the Office of Student Financial Services goal is to support you and your family in meeting your financial obligations to the college. We do this by aiming to consistently provide accurate and timely financial information regarding your direct educational cost at Morehouse. We'll talk a bit more about direct and indirect costs a little bit later. One point of clarification about our office: as Student Financial Services, we do work with students regarding both financial aid and student accounts. Just to go over what each department helps you with. So within Student Financial Services, the financial aid part will help you with federal financial aid, a federal work study, institutional grants and scholarships, external scholarships, and private student loans. On the student account side of the house, we work with students regarding their billing and collection of tuition, fees, and other charges. Please do note that room and board charges are handled by our housing department located in Kilgore. Payment options, financial management, sponsored billing, and refunds. The FAFSA. So it is incredibly important that all students complete a FAFSA, regardless if you believe you're eligible for any federal aid or not. It is a free application of federal student aid. This FAFSA will be completed by the student and/or the parents on October 1st of each year. The FAFSA helps determine a student's eligibility for the following: Federal Pell Grant, Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, also known as FSEOG, Federal Direct Loans, both subsidized and unsubsidized. The subsidized loan is where the federal government pays for any accruing interest while you're in school. The unsubsidized, the interest is accruing while you're in school. Both of the federal direct loans must be repaid within they'll go into repayment 6 months after you leave school or have graduated. The FAFSA also determines eligibility of the Federal Parent Plus loan and the Federal Work Study. For the Federal Parent Plus loan, even if you're deemed eligible to receive that loan, the parent must still apply and be approved for the loan in order for you to be able to receive it. And then Federal Work Study, even if you are eligible for Federal Work Study, those funds are allocated to the school each year by the Federal Department of Education, and we can only award out the amount that we've been allocated. So even if you're eligible, you may or may not see those funds awarded to you. If you are awarded Federal Work Study, you still must go through the application and interview process in order to be hired as a Federal Work Study student. If you complete the FAFSA and you have been selected for verification, you will need to work with KIA in order to be eligible to receive the funds listed above. So what will happen is you will see that you've been selected for verification. This is determined by the Federal Department of Education. And then with KIA, you will submit any documentation that is being required of you. And once that documentation is received, it is reviewed, and then your account is either cleared in order for you to receive federal financial aid, or they may determine that you need additional documentation or that you are ineligible to receive federal financial aid. And it's also important to note that not completing the FAFSA can have an impact on your housing and your eligibility of other grants and scholarships, whether they be internal or external. So it is always important, regardless of your belief on whether you're eligible or not, to complete the FAFSA each year. Once you've completed the FAFSA and you have been awarded by our financial aid side of the house, you will see this awarding in BannerWeb. BannerWeb is always the go-to to review and to accept or deny any awarding on your account. In order for you to accept or deny the awarding on your account, you must first accept terms and conditions. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see the steps in order to do so. You will need to log into your Morehouse portal, select the BannerWeb icon, enter your username and password, click the Student Services and Financial Aid link, click the Financial Aid link, click the Award Information link, select the award year, and then click Submit. Once you do that, you'll select the Award Offer tab, and at that point you will be prompted to accept the terms and conditions first. You must accept the terms and conditions before you can accept or deny your award. As a student, you are only allowed to accept at this time your federal subsidized loan, federal unsubsidized loan, and federal work study. The Parent Plus loan cannot be accepted by the student. The parent must apply for the Parent Plus loan by visiting studentaid.gov, and they must be approved for the funds in order for it to be accepted on your behalf and then dispersed at a later date. So to maintain your eligibility of federal financial aid, you must also fulfill any SAP requirements. So SAP stands for Satisfactory Academic Progress. It means a student is proceeding in a positive manner towards fulfilling degree requirements. A student's SAP progress is reviewed at the end of each semester, including the summer semester. So we do wait until we receive final grades each semester, and then the students are reviewed to see where they fall when it comes to SAP. SAP does consist of two components of measurement, both quantitative and qualitative, which measure one, PACE. So PACE is the number of overall earned credit hours, and they must equal at least 60% of overall attempted credit hours. The time frame, financial aid is available for up to 150% of the number of hours required to complete the degree program. This provides up to 180 attempted semester hours for financial aid recipients to complete a 120-hour semester hour program. An undergraduate program requiring more than the 120 credit hours may have eligibility extended upon appeal. I do want you all to note that during the last semester of eligibility, a student may only receive financial aid for the total number of credit hours remaining in their maximum time frame. So that means that if you are, at that point where you're hitting 180 credit hours attempted during that semester, they will only extend it to the number of credit hours that you have remaining. Your GPA is also one of the components of measurement. The students must maintain the following cumulative GPA point or grade point average dependent on their semesters of attendance to maintain financial aid eligibility. So when we looked at the grades each semester of attendance, we will calculate the cumulative GPA. If you have been at Morehouse for 2 semesters, you have to, if you get a 1.8 or lower, that will make you SAP ineligible. And then if you're here 4 semesters or more, 2.0 or lower will make you SAP ineligible. So just to go over a little bit more institutional funding and external funding in just a few slides. Institutional scholarships are a great resource for all of our students. We have launched a new Morehouse Scholarship Portal. The website is right there. It is morehouse.academicworks.com. Whenever there are open scholarships, you will be able to review those, apply if eligible. You must fulfill all criteria and meet all deadlines. Some of the scholarships are renewable and most of them are not renewable. So it's always important to read that within the scholarship information. Renewable scholarships will usually say that you must maintain a certain criteria in order to receive it year after year. Non-renewable will usually not say anything about what you need to maintain. It will just list out what the requirements are for you to apply at that point. Student Financial Services will review an award based on the set criteria. We must follow the criteria to a T. The scholarship that are given to us, they list out what we must fulfill in order to award it to the student. And then all awarded scholarships are viewable in Bannerweb. I do want to give you a few tips about being eligible for scholarships. You must be a newly admitted or currently enrolled Morehouse student. Again, you must meet the criteria established by the scholarship donors. You must submit all required documents necessary for processing. So that is why we also encourage the FAFSA to be completed. And then you must maintain the GPA, community service hours, or meet other conditions necessary for the scholarship. For external funding, there are quite a few other options. We always promote to, apply for outside scholarships and any grants that are available to you. These could be state grants and scholarships. For state, we do have Hope and Zell that we can, have dispersed for you. You'll want to check out www.gafutures.org in order to find out what is required for you to apply for those. We also do bring in Georgia Tuition Equalization Grant Program funds, so you can look at that as well. We do also bring in national scholarships, so UNCF, Thurgood Marshall College Fund. You can visit scholarships.com or fastweb.com. And just be careful when looking for outside scholarships. There are a lot of scam websites out there that will charge you money to apply for scholarships. You shouldn't be charged money to apply for money. You'll also find that a lot of them may have you input a lot of personal information. Just be very careful and make sure that you're using a reputable website when applying for outside scholarships and grants. Also, private student loans are available for students to borrow. We do always promote responsible borrowing, so please exhaust all other options before moving into, borrowing a private student loan. But private student loans will vary, And, there are some that work with Morehouse and there's others that will not. So you'll want to do your due diligence and put in some research to find out the best option for you. But private student loans will be borrowed through a third-party institution, such as a bank or credit union, Sallie Mae. The student would be the main applicant on a private student loan, and they may or may not need a cosigner. It all depends on debt-to-income ratio and, credit score, things of that nature. So billing and payment processing. So on the student account side of the house, this is what they partake in. So for billing and payment processing, paying your student account bill is a last step in the enrollment process when you're enrolling for the first time with Morehouse. And then this will take place each semester as well. Your approved payment method, you must have an approved payment method in place by our payment deadline. So it is important that you check your account in TigerPay on a regular basis. Electronic billing statements are created on a monthly basis. You will get a real-time account balance, which is always available via TigerPay. So TigerPay, BannerWeb, those are your main resources to review, your account when it comes to financial aid and student accounts. Payment options are listed on our website. And then it is always key to plan for your educational expenses. I just want to reiterate that we do understand that communication is very important, so our office always aims to provide user-friendly access to information about the status of your account and our billing and payment policies. We update our websites frequently with relevant information, and we also communicate frequently. Primarily, we will communicate with students via email to the student's Morehouse College email account. And then if the student also sets up any authorized payers within TigerWeb, they will also receive the same emails via email. So it's just important to always look at these two components in order to determine what your student account looks like, BannerWeb and TigerPay. So financial and planning is incredibly important. So I'm going to go over a few things when it comes to financial planning and determining, what your year to year is going to look at while attending Morehouse College. So first, I do want to go over direct versus indirect cost. Direct cost, those are charges posted to your student account at the college, which you can see in TigerPay. So this will be things such as tuition, fees, room and board, lab fees, etc. Anything that we directly charge you as the student for on your student account. Indirect cost will include your financial aid award, will be included on your financial aid award as cost of attendance. So this will include charges that are not assessed via your student account. So this will be things like, toothpaste, a laptop, transportation, books, any technology that you're using outside of what's, given to you at Morehouse, that will be included in the cost of attendance. Direct costs are only charged by semester, so that's something to keep in mind. Your cost of attendance, I'm going to go over this a little bit more because I do know that a lot of students get this confused with what's in TigerPay. Cost of attendance is an estimate of the amount of money required to attend Morehouse College for 1 year. So this includes both the fall and spring semesters. And the cost of attendance includes both the direct and indirect cost. So like I stated before, this can be tuition and fees, your lab fees, room and board. It will also include transportation, any books that you purchase, anything supply-wise that you purchase outside of what's being charged directly to your student account. This cost of attendance number is required by the Federal Department of Education and is used to determine the total amount of financial aid you can receive in an academic year. So we cannot exceed this amount. This will include everything: federal loans, federal Pell Grant, any state grants or aid that you receive, institutional scholarships and outside scholarships. All of those numbers will go into the cost of attendance to determine how close we are to the cost of attendance. Schedule of fees. So in order to plan, before each academic year and to know what your whole entire academic year is going to look like, we strongly suggest reviewing the schedule of fees. So I did put at the bottom of the screen there where you can visit to see your schedule of fees. You go to morehouse.edu. You'll hover over admissions, select tuition and fees, cost of attendance, and then you'll be able to view the schedule of fees. The schedule of fees is a link at the bottom of the screen. The direct costs are approved by our Board of Trustees is published for each academic year. The amounts included in the schedule of fees are per semester, and then you can use this to schedule. You'll be able to use the schedule as a guide to help create your financial plan. So what you'll want to do is, once you see the schedule of fees, just recognize that those charges listed there are going to be for each semester, and then you can plan out what the spring semester is going to look like. At this point, you've been charged all your fees and direct costs for the fall, but then you can look at the schedule of fees to determine what it's going to look like for the spring. And then, as a guide, this is updated each year, but as a guide, you can use a previous year to get a rough estimate of what next year is going to look like. All right, so I do want to go over a little bit more what is available to you in Tiger Pay. So in here, you can make e-payments. So you'll want to securely make payments over the web using ACH, which is your e-checks. You can use credit card, debit card. You can set up any 529 plan accounts. We do have some listed in our system. If you do not see your 529 plan in our system already, you will need to reach out to them and do a withdrawal or request a check, and then send that into Morehouse or have the student drop it off to our student accounts area. We do also have the ability to do an international wire transfer directly through Tiger Pay. On Tiger Pay, you can also review e-billing. So you'll have easy access to your student account transaction with monthly electronic bills posted automatically. Email and text alert options are also available for you to set up so you never miss a bill. We do have our payment plans in there as well. You can set that up, integrated payment plan. It automatically updates as your student account balance updates, and then payments must be scheduled. So we'll go over payment plans a little bit more in detail in a few slides. And then we also do have parent access. So the student can add the parent as a payer on the account. You'll create a user ID in there for the parent or guardian to have online access to your student account bill, 1098T, and to make payments. So like I said in the previous slide, they'll also receive emails if they're listed as a payer on the account. And then your access. So you will access Tiger Pay via Banner Web in the Morehouse portal. So as I said many, many times, Banner Web is going to be your main resource, and then Tiger Pay will be your secondary main resource. So you'll have to access Banner Web to get to your Tiger Pay. Parents and guardians will also access Tiger Pay after you set them up as an authorized user. So once again, once they're set up, they will receive an email with credentials and a link to access Tiger Pay, and then they'll be able to access Tiger Pay via a link on the Student Financial Services website. So if paying by credit or debit card, there is a convenience fee. For any domestic transactions, there's a 2.75% convenience fee. And for any international transactions, it's 4.25%. This is added to all credit debit card payments made online. There is no fee for debit card payments made in person, however. But that won't be an option until campus reopens. There is no charge to pay online by e-check. So if you do not want to pay a convenience fee, the next best option would be e-check, because we do not charge any fees for that. And then at this time, and I believe for future semesters, we do not accept payments over the phone. So to go over the payment plans a little bit more, you do have the option to set up a payment plan. Your parents can set it up as long as they're an authorized user. And it does give the ability to defer up to 40% of your account balance after any authorized aid has been applied by enrolling in this semester installment plan. So there is a 60% down payment that is due upon enrollment. There is a $150 enrollment fee. And then installments must be scheduled for auto payment at the time of enrollment. Please note that the 60% down payment is calculated automatically after all financial aid and outside scholarships grants have been received by the college and applied to your account. Should you make the 60% down payment, an additional, outside scholarship or institutional scholarship is applied to your account, that will be reflected and it will adjust your installment plan for those payments being made. If you enroll in the payment plan and you happen to default, if your installment plan agreement is not met, you will then be deemed ineligible for the payment plan the following semesters. This means that you will find yourself in the situation to have to be prepared to pay the full balance owed for following semesters. So let's say that this fall semester you sign up for the installment plan and you are unsuccessful in having those automatic payments come out successfully. When it comes to spring semester, you need to be prepared to make your full payment by the initial due date. You won't be able to set up an additional payment plan. Credit balance refunds. A credit balance occurs when the funds that are credited to your student account exceed the amount of direct cost on your account. This would be your tuition, fees, room and board. If your student account shows a credit balance, you may be entitled to receive a refund. Student Financial Services processes credit balance refunds on a weekly basis. I do want to let you know that the fall refunds will begin processing after the start of the semester though. So just, we need to wait until those funds disperse to your account in order for there to be a credit balance, and then we will refund based on that. Morehouse College has a mandatory direct deposit policy for student refunds. Students can enroll in our direct deposit program by completing an enrollment form. Credit balances from Parent Plus loans are refunded to the parent as a paper check mailed to the address included on the application for the Parent Plus loan at studentloans.gov. Plus loans are applied first to direct cost. So any direct cost on your account, the Parent Plus loan will apply to that first, and then refunds will be sent to the parent after that. I know that a lot of times students will inquire about the negative sign in front of their balance, or they'll see parentheses. The negative sign or parentheses indicates a credit balance. So past due balances and collections. Student Financial Services is definitely committed to helping you resolve your delinquent balance. Our goal is the student success, and we hope that we can help you resolve any, issues with your student account prior to it becoming a larger issue. If your account becomes delinquent, please contact our office immediately so we can discuss other options with you. The student receivable process begins when your charges are posted to your student account. If your account is not paid by the due date, a past due balance hold will be placed and further collection efforts will be made to collect the amount owed. If the account is sent to a collection agency, additional fees may be added to the balance due. The most important thing to note here is to engage us right away. I do want to let all students know that with a past due balance, holds are not able to move forward to enroll in future semesters until the balance is paid in full. And I do just want to reiterate that we can definitely discuss other options, but discussing other options does not mean that there's a guarantee that something will be available for you to pay your past due balance. So just make sure that you are planning, like I said, for the entire award year before the award year begins, so that you can be financially sound in your decisions and understand that all of your future balances are going to be able to be covered. It is incredibly important. It takes the stress off of you so that you can focus on school and being, academically successful. So just make sure that you're in constant communication with us if you should run into any issues, so that we can help advise you on what additional options are there for you if there are any. And so to contact Student Financial Services, always please visit first morehouse.edu/about/contact for links to schedule appointments. If you visit this website, it will give you all the options listed below, and it's always available. So the many options to contact us would be through our online help center we just launched called House Central. Through House Central, you can put in anything that you're looking to find out. We have a little help button. You click on that, type in what it is that you're inquiring about, and it should populate some articles available to help answer any questions you may have. If you find that, those articles are not answering the questions that you have, you can submit an online help request, and it will connect you with an advisor in our office. If you do not want to use Help Central, or you're not finding that it's helping you as you wish, you can always send an email to studentfinancialservices@morehouse.edu. And this will also connect you with an advisor in our office. Students do not have assigned advisors, but any of our advisors will be able to assist any student at any time. Please note that all email inquiries should only be sent to the email address provided above. Our Student Financial Services staff will no longer respond to student-related financial aid or student account issues from our personal Morehouse email accounts. So it is very, very important to email studentfinancialservices@morehouse.edu. And then if you would like to speak with an advisor in our office by phone, the best way to do so is to make an appointment. If you visit the link that I gave you above, you'll be able to click on schedule an appointment, and it will allow you to schedule that appointment with one of our advisors. If you're running into this situation where you're unable to let's say you're scheduling for tomorrow at 2 p.m. and it's telling you that an appointment is not available, that means that that spot is already filled. You will need to go to a future date and time and attempt to schedule that way. If you're running into an error code that will not allow you to schedule at all, you would want to reach out to our help desk or IT department for assistance with that. But yes, that is how to contact Student Financial Services. And then once we're back on campus, you will also use the schedule an appointment link to schedule any in-person meetings as well. But that concludes the Student Financial Services presentation for today. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing all of you on campus and working with you very closely over your time with Morehouse.
I am Lakedra Guilford, Associate Registrar. Other registrar staff include Marie Brown, the Registrar, Dr. LaShonda McQueen, Assistant Registrar, Joanna Blankson, Degree Works and Graduation Analyst, Carla Fodes, Transcript Evaluation Analyst, and Jordan Corder, Transcript Evaluation Analyst. First thing we'll talk about is FERPA. What is FERPA? FERPA is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. In a nutshell, FERPA means the institution is responsible for protecting student records unless otherwise requested by the student to release that information to third parties. We have a form that students can fill out and send to the registrar's office for processing. Transcripts. Transcripts going outbound to other entities such as another school or for a scholarship or any other reason can be ordered through the National Student Clearinghouse. Please be advised that the normal processing time is 2 to 3 business days. You can submit your request and also pay online. E-transcripts will be coming soon where we don't have to manually process a printed transcript for you. You'll receive a PDF in your email. Transcripts inbound. That means transcripts that are being received by the institution. All transcripts must be submitted directly from the other institution, including dual enrollment credit. We'll also be receiving any final high school transcripts because this is a requirement. So if we have not received your final high school transcript, please be sure to submit it to the registrar's office. If you have any other college level credit, such as CLEP or AP, make sure that you submit those scores to the registrar's office for processing. Enrollment verifications. Our enrollment verifications can be ordered through the National Student Clearinghouse. It is an immediate transaction where you would request your enrollment verification online and receive it in a PDF document. Verifications for fall 2021 will be available approximately 1 week after the start of the semester. If you need an enrollment verification prior to the start of classes, please email records@morehouse.edu. Here's an example of an enrollment verification that you will receive from National Student Clearinghouse. This is an official document of Morehouse College, so it should be accepted as an enrollment verification for an outside entity. Veteran services. This is the area where students who are veterans themselves or is a veteran dependent, meaning that your parent or guardian was a veteran, may be able to receive education benefits. Please be sure to speak to your parent or guardian or go online to the VA website at www.va.gov for more information. We will require the certificate of eligibility and a certification of your enrollment in order to process any VA educational benefits. For more information, please visit our website. And if you have any questions, please email records@morehouse.edu. My Portal. Most of you have already experienced My Portal with logging in and seeing all of the apps that are available to you. Here are just some of the apps that you may want to explore in depth, which is the Banner Web icon, the Banner Web app, the DegreeWorks Audit app, the Blackboard Learn app, the Online Help Center, and your Morehouse email. Here are some important things to know. Please make sure that you visit the Morehouse website. Discover everything that is on there. The information that is out there on the website will help you navigate through your college experience. The academic calendar is the information that you will need to know because it includes important dates such as the last day to drop an ad, the last day to withdraw, when payment deadlines are, and so on. The academic course calendar is very important so you'll know different policies for the institution and also any course descriptions or degree plans and just information about the college in depth. So please make sure that you go out there and read through the course catalog. DegreeWorks. DegreeWorks is a tool to help you navigate through your degree plan. If you know what your major is, you can go out there to your DegreeWorks and see a full outline of the classes that you will need to graduate from Morehouse College. Along with your advisor, you'll be able to go through your degree plan and ensure that you're taking the classes that you need in order to meet your graduation requirements. Here's the website for the Office of Records and Registration. There's plenty of information out there for you to be able to go through and navigate the institution. Please be sure to visit every link on our page so that you can see the information that is out there for you, for your parents, or anyone that wants information about the registrar's office. Lastly, here's our contact information. Our email is records@morehouse.edu, along with our phone number and our fax number. And coming soon, we'll be a part of House Central, which is an online appointment scheduling tool. And also, we'll be a part of QList, which is an online help center as well. Thank you for giving me the time to present to you the information about the registrar's office. And now we'll have question and answer. I am Lakeisha.
Good afternoon to all of our incoming students and families and other guests. It is great to see you all today joining in on the virtual new student orientation. And my colleagues and I, as you've previously heard, are very excited to have you join us on campus next week. It is hard to believe that it is that close, but it is. My name is Michael Turner, and I have the privilege to serve as Associate Dean of Students and Ombudsperson. And my purpose for engaging in the conversation this afternoon is to share with you some important information, reminder information that is, regarding the pre-entrance health requirements, pre-arrival requirements, as well as some of the ongoing mitigation strategies that are in place as it relates to managing COVID-19 on campus and within the Atlanta University Center community. So, hopefully, you all have taken the necessary steps based upon the information provided through the Office of Admissions and Recruitment to complete your pre-entrance health records. It should be noted that these documents are critical to you beginning your matriculation at Morehouse, and they are also required for our residential students to complete the residential house move-in, check-in process starting officially on August the 10th. So you should have received these documents, the respective forms, prior to now, but they include information related to requests for information pertaining to your immunizations and other health records over the course of your lifetime. Again, these documents are required and are, if they have not already been submitted, they are considered past due at this time. However, if you have not submitted those documents, please ensure that you do so by uploading the pre-entrance health records via Medicat as soon as possible. All records must be reviewed and verified by medical professionals. And again, as you prepare for your travel to the campus, to Atlanta and the campus, it is important to note that if your records are incomplete and if they have not been received, then you will not be eligible to complete the residential house move-in process. Further, we want you to be mindful of the pre-arrival requirement for COVID-19 testing. Even as we move into the endemic phase, we want to ensure that our community is safe and that we can account for the COVID-19 status of all who will visit the campus, particularly those residential students who will be residing on campus. You should have received information prior to now that indicates the requirement for COVID-19 pre-arrival testing. And the requirements are as follows. For a PCR test, you may have a PCR test administered no sooner than 72 hours in advance of your arrival on campus. PCR testing may be administered no sooner than 72 hours in advance of your arrival on campus. Or you may have a rapid antigen test administered no sooner than 24 hours in advance of your arrival on campus. Rapid antigen testing may be administered no sooner than 24 hours in advance of your arrival on campus. And please note that I used the word or. So it is one test or the other. Also, please be mindful that our president, Dr. David A. Thomas, as well as the Council of Presidents for the Atlanta University Center Consortium, have required COVID-19 vaccinations as well as boosters for all campus stakeholders. And that means that all individuals must have completed the primary series of vaccination. And as an example, that is, if you uh, completed the Pfizer vaccine or Moderna, you would be required to have had 2 doses administered and 1 dose for Johnson & Johnson. And for those who are eligible, you must have also had the booster administered. So the primary series of the vaccine of the respective vaccine distributor are required, which is either 2 doses or 1 based upon the distributor. And also, you are required to have the booster for those who are eligible. It is important to keep this in mind as you prepare to arrive on campus, because this also is part of your health record, which must be complete prior to move-in. Additionally, as it relates to ongoing mitigation strategies, our public health and medical experts have arranged plans for ongoing testing over the course of the semester and year. And this includes, for those who are vaccinated, this includes biweekly randomized PCR and rapid testing. For those who are vaccinated, this is randomized PCR and rapid testing. So that means that we will use a randomizing system to identify those students who are required to have COVID-19 testing administered on a biweekly, that is, basis if fully vaccinated. Please note that these tests are required. If you are selected, it is mandatory, not optional, to have said test administered as expected. For those who are unvaccinated, and an unvaccinated individual would be one who has received approval, who has submitted the exemption request and been approved for an exemption to the vaccine series. Those who are unvaccinated will be tested PCR and rapid on a weekly basis. This is not randomized. All unvaccinated individuals will be tested on a weekly basis with both PCR and rapid tests. As you prepare to arrive on campus and on a continuous basis, it is very important that you self-monitor. You know your body's best. You know your health status best. If you are experiencing or expressing any of the common symptoms related to COVID-19, it is absolutely imperative that prior to your arrival, that you delay your arrival to the campus. And if you are already on campus, you notify appropriate administrators as well as health professionals to ensure that the appropriate resources and mechanisms are initiated on your behalf. In the unfortunate event that one of our students tests positive for COVID-19 or is exposed, considered a close contact,
Please know that we will have services and support mechanisms in place for those individuals. Anyone who tests positive will not be permitted to attend class sessions, but faculty will be notified with descriptive details of your absence so that you can receive appropriate accommodations. Additionally, it is important to note that those students who are identified as testing positive, um, it is also part of the COVID-19 plan that students will isolate in place, meaning that if you test positive and reside in on-campus housing, you will remain in your permanent room assignment for the duration of your isolation protocol, which is up to 10 days, or unless approved uh, for a different amount of time by a medical professional associated with Morehouse College or the Morehouse School of Medicine. So it's important to note again that individuals who test positive are vaccinated and are showing mild symptoms will isolate in place or quarantine in place. And the appropriate services will be administered as appropriate and as needed. Also, I do want to share with you that the Atlanta University Center Consortium, the Morehouse School of Medicine, as well as Morehouse College, we are very much aware of the circumstances surrounding monkeypox. We are taking that very, very seriously because that could have a very serious impact on individuals as well as the community at large. Administrators are currently working to devise appropriate plans that will be in place to support any incidents of monkeypox. So it's important for you as students and parents and guardians and other campus stakeholders to know that we are aware. We've been watching the news reports, we've been following the data, and we are doing our due diligence to be prepared for any incidents of monkeypox to protect our community. Please keep in mind as well, as it relates to exemptions for COVID-19, that you must, as a reminder, you must submit appropriate documentation for consideration for approval. No submission is a guarantee of approval. It must be reviewed by the medical professionals of the Student Health and Wellness Center at the Morehouse School of Medicine and Morehouse Healthcare. Only when you have received a documented approval should you consider yourself exempt. Otherwise, consider yourself obligated to adhere to any requirements that have been previously stated. Additionally, there have been questions pertaining to exemptions from immunizations that are listed on the pre-entrance health record. And a note that I am relaying from the Student Health and Wellness Center, as well as the staff in-house at Morehouse College, is that if you are seeking any form of exemption for immunizations, required immunizations that is, you must have your physician submit 5 years worth of good health records indicating that substantiate your request for an exemption. And all medical documentation must be submitted via Medicat, which is in my portal. So I certainly hope that this information has been beneficial for you today. I do thank you for your time. There will be much more information shared with you on an ongoing basis and also upon your arrival. And one last piece that I do want to mention is as we continue to monitor the conditions related to COVID-19, the AUCC has also adopted a color coded system that will guide us regarding the status of the community related to COVID-19 positivity rates. So it will range from green to red. And based upon the color that has been identified by the public health experts, that will guide us on our practices on campus. Please know that we do still have an indoor masking requirement. Regardless of color, in terms of COVID-19 rate color, regardless of vaccination status, there is an indoor masking mandate for all campus stakeholders. So please keep that in mind as you prepare to arrive on campus. And again, I'd like to thank you for your time today. I look forward to the opportunity to support you and to support your success at Morehouse College. And I look forward to seeing you in just a few days. Have a great day.
Greetings, my future men of Morehouse. I am Chief Charles Prescott, the Chief of Police here at Morehouse College and the Associate Vice President of Campus Safety. I'm ecstatic to have you on campus, and we can't wait to have you here. So before you, you have our overview of our Campus Safety Department, which is actually our police department. We oversee police operations and security services. So if you could follow along with me here, I'll start by opening up with our mission statement, our vision statement, and our core values. Currently, our mission statement reads as follows. We're committed to excellence in public safety and are dedicated to the people, traditions, and diversity of Morehouse College. In order to protect life and property, prevent crime, and reduce the fear of crime, provide strong public safety role models, and enforce law with practical goals and visions, we will provide service with understanding, response with compassion, performance with integrity, and law enforcement with a vision. We get into our vision statement. The department, in partnership with the Morehouse community, will endeavor to achieve our mission by focusing on the prevention of crime and safety, adopting a department culture that is consistent with Morehouse College's values, combining both efficiency and effectiveness when leveraging technologies that enhance our campus operations. Our core values reads as follows here at Morehouse College. Integrity, respect, accountability, and servanthood. Our authority here on campus as campus law enforcement officers. Under OCGA Georgia Code 28-2, law enforcement powers on the campus of an educational facility, a campus policeman employed by such educational facility who is certified in accordance with Code Section 28-3 and authorized by the governing body or authority of such educational facility shall have the same law enforcement powers, including the power of arrest, as a law enforcement officer of the local government with police jurisdiction over such campus. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, we are a real police department with real arrest powers. Though you may hear us call campus safety at certain times, we are a Morehouse Police Department. Therefore, we can issue charges, bring charges, and make arrests on campus on any Morehouse property. Our jurisdiction also reads in OCGA Georgia Code 28-1, campus defined as the campus. If you read through that code, it's pretty much everything that is Morehouse related that's owned by Morehouse property, we have jurisdiction in and we can enforce, and we do enforce. When you see our jurisdiction also stretches 500 yards of the property of any educational facility or 1/4 mile of any public street. Therefore, if you are in RAPAC, our Ray Charles Performing Arts Center, and something happens on the street on your way back to campus, we can enforce that street and we will take care of that street. Now, when it comes to parking violations or anything like that, we let APD handle that. But if you need us to respond, we will respond to you. Keep that in mind. Also, the library falls under that jurisdiction, and also any other campus that falls under that jurisdiction. But you have to be careful, because if you're on Clark Atlanta, if you're on Spelman, you are at the mercy of whatever that police department on that campus or that public safety department on that campus chooses to do with you, and whatever issues you may have with them over there, you're out of our hands here at Morehouse. So do keep that in mind. Our general patrol area here at Morehouse, as you can see from the map, we cover quite a distance for the Atlanta University Center, and we sit right in the middle of the AUC around Clark Atlanta, Spelman College. Our campus property, we consist of 43 buildings within the following areas: south at West End Avenue, north to Beckwood Street, north to Spelman Lane, and west to Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. Please take your time to write these numbers down and write this location down. I promise you'll see it again in this PowerPoint. We're located in Robert Hall Annex. We're right between the post office and Shivers Dining Hall. Our hours of operation, we're 24/7, 365, meaning we are open all the time. If you're on campus or you're around campus, you need us at any given time, we are here in the office. Someone will respond to you. If you had to report an incident or someone's sick or injured, emergency line is 24/7. That's 404-215-2666. If you have a power outage, 404-427-7396. You can see we have a fax number, but this day and age, people really aren't sending faxes anymore, especially if you're a student. But most importantly is our email. That email is mcpd@morehouse.edu. Once again, that email is going to be important because we do respond and we send out messages from that email a lot of times. So if you need something, a problem taken care of or something, make sure you send that email, mcpd@morehouse.edu also. You'll get a fast response time from us. Just a few important reminders. Students, you should always keep your student ID with you at all times you're on this campus or traveling, because you must present your ID upon the request of any Morehouse College authority. In the event that we have an unlikely incident on campus and we have to shut down campus, you won't be allowed back on campus unless you have that ID. Remember, you will have to have that ID card. It's imperative that you have it. I can't stress it enough. As I said, if we have to shut down campus and you have to come back on campus, you probably won't be back. You won't be allowed on campus unless you have the ID card. You always have to adhere to rules and regulations. Here at Morehouse, we have zero tolerance, no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. When it comes to visitation, you reference your student handbook about conduct violations. Dean Southern from Student Conduct, he'll be able to fill you in on that also. One thing I am big on here at Morehouse, and everyone is hate crimes. We have a zero tolerance for any hate crimes here on Morehouse campus. We welcome the diversity here. So hate crimes are one thing that'll get you off campus ASAP. I know I am new to campus also, just like many of you. This is only my fourth month that we sit in. So when we talk about the zero tolerance, here at Morehouse College, at the police department, at campus safety, we focus on the safety of everyone, every last one of you. We understand that you're going to make mistakes. We're not heavy-handed. I'm not a heavy-handed chief. But we do not tolerate certain things. If there are certain things, meaning if you rape someone, you kill someone, you hurt someone, you rob someone, or you sell narcotics on this campus, there's a zero tolerance for that. And we will remove you from this campus. And that removal of this campus for those offenses will possibly be in the back of a patrol vehicle. Anything else, I promise you we can work through and we will work on. Remember, though, don't lie to us. Always tell the truth. Always be respectful. Nothing you do is not too bad that we can't work on it. So always remember that. Emergency transports. All the emergency medical transportation, they're handled by us through our office through the campus police. In the event you have to be escorted by ambulance, we will call 911 ourselves and have your ambulance service here to take you where you need to go. Remember, police escorts upon request. If you need a police escort, meaning you're walking back from the library or you're somewhere you don't feel safe and you need an escort across campus, call our number, 404-215-2666, and we'll issue someone to escort you. An officer, they'll be assigned to direct their patrol in the area where the type of assistance is needed. They'll be around. If you don't want them to walk with you, you just want somebody to be there, make that known also when you call us or you send an email, and you'll be able to see us in the general vicinity. All lost and found items, they should be turned in the campus police office. Claims can be made Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. All lost and found items. Now remember this, because it's actually a book in Georgia law. Theft of mislaid property is a crime. And depending on the dollar amount, it could be a felony. Meaning if you find something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's yours. You have to make good effort to turn stuff in and find the owner. So please, 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 if you find something, if you find a wallet and it has buku amounts of money in it, you still have to turn that in to us. And we still will make a report. We'll hold it in lost and found. And we have to do right and try to find the owner. Because if it comes back and it's someone's money, and if someone does claim that property and they can prove it's their property and you did take it, you are liable, you are subject to being charged with a felony crime depending on the dollar amount. So please, all lost and found items. If you find something, just find one of the officers. If you don't want to come to campus safety, you'll see one of our security professionals or a police officer around campus, and you can give it to them and they'll take care of it. Lost IDs and room building keys, they have to be retrieved from access control during normal business hours. We do not issue that stuff after hours, from 8 to 4 for your ID card or your room building keys. We issue those out during the day if you lose them, just so we have the checks and balances in place and everyone's here at work. As I come to almost a close, our safety tip dues. Do, if you see something, say something ASAP to someone on my staff, someone on campus safety. Do always lock your room door, especially when you're leaving your room. Do ensure all your vehicle doors are locked and items of value are not visible or they're removed from the vehicle. Familiarize yourself with the campus rules. Familiarize yourself with the campus emergency plan. Do pay attention to your surroundings at all times, on and off campus. Do notify campus police in the event of emergency first. And this has been left off. We are proud of our alma mater. We're proud to be members of the Morehouse community. But do remember, when you're traveling out of the walls of the campus, the lanyards that have your keys hooked to them, that you hook your ID card to, that hang out your pocket, be mindful of those things while you're out and about around the town. And I don't say that just because you're at Morehouse. Georgia State, Georgia Tech, Clark, Atlanta, Spelman, doesn't matter what college you're at, we all chiefs tell their students the same thing. That stuff in your pocket that makes you an easy target as maybe a quote unquote out of towner, be aware of that stuff and keep yourself safe. So our safety tips and our don'ts. Don't forget, if you see something, say something ASAP to one of us. Don't let someone unauthorized on the campus into your buildings or your dorms. We can only control so much. It's up to you to actually make sure that the stuff we put in place is working. So you can't let someone unauthorized on the campus. Please don't prop open doors. This will lead to unwanted visitors accessing secure areas. Again, we put things in place for your safety. If there's an emergency door, or if there's a door that only you have access to if you have an ID card, it's a reason you can't prop that door open. Don't use emergency exits for non-emergency purposes. Because what happens, if you go out of the emergency door, we will respond. And if we respond to an emergency door and there's non-emergency and you're going out of it, there will be consequences for such action, whether it's from student conduct or whether it be a fine from housing. Do not park in unauthorized or reserved parking spaces. We as campus safety, we're not over the parking here on campus. But if you park in an unauthorized space, you are subject to a boot and a fine from our parking facility. If you are traveling at nighttime and you are new to this area, please do not travel at night by yourself off this campus in the area just until you get used to it. Never, ever give your room keys, your car keys, or your swipe card to anybody else. And don't leave your personal belongings unattended on or off campus. Finally, what we have at Morehouse is our emergency alert system. Every campus you visit will have some type of mass alert system. Here we use Blackboard Connect. This is our mass notification system, and it's used by the college. Blackboard Connect is used to send information to every person that is registered on the Blackboard system. The registration is not automatically done. Every student, faculty, and staff member, you must register to receive said notification. I mean, you have to opt in for the service. If you do not opt in and register yourselves for the service, you will not receive the emergency alerts. If you do register, and if you are a student here and you're on the Blackboard Connect, you can register for Blackboard Connect, and also your family members who you deem, your parents, or a sibling or a guardian who oversees you, they can also be registered to Blackboard Connect. This is important that you register for Blackboard Connect because this is how we send out crime alerts. We send out immediate safety issues on campus and around campus and severe weather information. If we experience a bomb threat, if we experience an active shooter, if we experience something, the campus is on lockdown, you will get this through the emergency alert system. But if you do not opt in, you won't have it. So please be aware of that and do make sure you opt in to the Blackboard Connect, our emergency alert system. And finally, it's our numbers again. Our emergency number is 404-215-2666. And you can always call 911 and they'll route the call right to us. We're located again at Roberts Hall in the annex. Our email address, mcpd@morehouse.edu. And we have an anonymous tip reporting line. It's 404-653-7700. If there is something going on and you want us to look into it and you don't feel safe or you don't want to mention your name, please call the anonymous tip line, 404-653-7700. Once again, I am Chief Charles Prescott, Chief of Police here at Morehouse College and the Associate Vice President of Campus Safety. We can't wait to have you on campus, and we look forward to having you here.
Hello again. My name is Ilya Davis. I am the Director of Freshman and Seniors Academic Success and Instructor in Philosophy here at Morehouse College. Thank you all for joining us today for our first day of virtual new student orientation. Please join us again tomorrow at 12 noon. You all should have received the direct link for this YouTube program as you did for the first day. But again, thank you so much. Tomorrow, we will cover the computing platforms used on a daily basis at Morehouse for submitting assignments and any other additional computing resources that are needed. We will also cover the various academic resources from writing labs to our Frederick Douglass Academic Center, and we will close with a discussion of equity, inclusion, and belonging. Again, thank you so much, and we appreciate your patience, and we look forward to engaging you tomorrow for the second and last day for virtual NSO. Thank you.
0